US slaps new sanctions on Iranian regime Supreme Leader Khamenei. The United States imposed sanctions Monday on the Iranian regime's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and a string of military chiefs, tightening pressure on the region. Trump signed the punitive financial measures in the Oval Office, calling it a strong and proportionate response to Iran's increasingly provocative actions. Repeating that never can Iran have a nuclear weapon, Trump said it was now up to Tehran to negotiate. Expanding on the new measures, the Treasury said that the United States will blacklist the Iranian regime's foreign minister, Mohammad Zarif, and block billions more in Iranian regime assets, with 8 top commanders from the regime's Revolutionary Guards already added to the list. Maryam Rajavi, president-elect of the National Council of Resistance of Iran, said in response to President Trump's announcement, "Sanctioning Khamenei and his office, the epicenter of crime, corruption and terrorism in Iran, is spot on and most imperative. Those sanctions must be expanded to the Mullah's Ministry of Intelligence and Security, which has blocked the uprising for a free Iran." Pence says the US stands with Iran's people. The United States government seeks to stand with the Iranian people, Vice President Mike Pence said on Sunday. Asked what the US strategy is with regard to the threats posed by the Iranian regime, Pence said, "What we want to do is to stand with the Iranian people, thousands of which gathered outside the White House on Friday, and tens of thousands of which took to the streets last year in communities across Iran. We want to stand with them to see Iran come forward, step to a future, and embrace freedom." He continued, "While we stand firmly against the Ayatollahs, we have the highest hopes for the Iranian people." Pence added that for 40 years the Iranian regime has propagated terror. He said, "They're the leading state sponsor of terror in the world. Those days must come to an end, and America is going to continue to stand resolved with the people of Iran for a better future for them." Europeans issue warning to Iranian regime over nuclear deal commitments. France, Britain and Germany have sent an official diplomatic warning to the Iranian regime about the serious consequences Tehran faces if it scales back its compliance with the 2015 nuclear deal. 3 diplomats said the European signatories to the deal lodged the diplomatic démarche on June 22nd. The Iranian regime has said it will not give the European powers more time beyond July 8th to save the nuclear deal. It has said it is ready to go through with a threat to enrich uranium to a higher level if Europe cannot shield Tehran from US sanctions. Pompeo discusses countering Iranian threat during UAE visit. The US mission in the United Arab Emirates said Monday that US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo discussed countering the threat from the Iranian regime in the region with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. The mission had earlier tweeted that Pompeo will also discuss building a global coalition to counter the world's largest state sponsor of terror. A senior US State Department official earlier said that the United States is building a coalition with its allies to protect Gulf shipping lanes by having all eyes on shipping, following attacks on oil tankers that Washington has blamed on the Iranian regime. Amnesty launches call to save Iranian juvenile's life. Amnesty International issued a call to demand urgent action taken to save the life of a juvenile on death row in Iran. Amnesty is expressing grave concern over the condition of Daniel Zainolabedin, a juvenile in Iran's prison. The human rights body called on all people and all human rights activists from around the world to put pressure on the regime to stop this execution. Amnesty reports that Daniel has been sentenced to death for a crime allegedly committed when he was 17.